Welcome. You're right where you belong. Eugenia and I have been friends for 28 years, and while life phases and stages, racking up titles and all the etceteras in life keep us busy, we are intentional about keeping each other centered and committed, and to picking up right where we left off. After all, it's our life support. Welcome to Life Support with Eugenia and Alexis. We're getting real about building business in the middle of mom life while supporting one another through the process. We're here.
We're here. Hey, girl.
Our first episode. We
First
made it.
episode.
Yes. So, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. How about you?
Good. Good. I'm definitely surviving with like a pinch of Thrive.
Right.
Pinch of
Okay.
Thrive is in there. I kind of feel rested, but not really since Mother's Day wrapped. How was your Mother's Day?
Yeah. My Mother's Day was a really chill. Originally, we were gonna go to the movies, but on Mother's Day, I just felt like I don't know. I just felt like staying home. I didn't feel like going anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We watched TV and ordered takeout for lunch and dinner. My husband went to pick that up. It was just real chill, real laid back. But my son, my 7-year-old, did the cutest thing for me. I'm like, where did you come up with this? But he actually made little cards for me that said, like, I love you, Mom, and Happy Mother's Day, hearts on it, little pictures. He hid them around the house, and he was like, Mom, I have like a scavenger hunt for you to do. So he had me go around the house and find all the nice, thoughtful cards he left me, and it was the sweetest thing. I thought that was the cutest thing. So
That is so cute.
Mother's Day was real chill, and you know, how about you? How was yours?
Look, I would love the cute little cards. Instead, they just followed me. Um, I tried to rest, but it really just became a like slow trickle in. It's like the ghost of Christmas past. Like everybody comes to visit you and then they
Right.
just stay. And so at first I was like, I am needing to rest. And you guys are not picking up the hints or the cues. But then I thought about it and I was just like, they desire to be around me, and they want to be around me. So, hey, a win is a win.
A win is a win, right?
Yes, yes. So that definitely kind of, circles in to what we're discussing today because I feel like wins, both big and small, they just help with progress and just my ability to stay on track. Sometimes it's hard to recognize those wins and be consistent with striving for those wins. Do you recognize yours?
That's something that I'm honestly working on. I think that I do it more so now than in the past. Like I'm getting better with it. I would say a win for me. And it's something real simple. Like you got to start.
Yes.
There's
Yes,
nothing
you
wrong
do.
with that. Win, like you said, is a win, right? So
Yes.
a win for me would be for this week is the fact that I got to dusting off my vents, my air vents.
That's what I'm talking about.
Place and, for a little while, I'm walking around the house or doing something around the house and I look up and be like, oh, I need to get to that. I need to dust those vents. And I actually got to it this week. So I am happy about that. It's a
Okay.
win.
Yes, purifying the
Yeah,
air for the babies.
exactly. And another
Yeah.
win, small win of mine was before I went to bed, I did my eye masks under eye mask, right? So
Yes,
that's
you're fancy.
I, I don't get to do much for myself. And as moms, we can, forget that. We can forget about
Yes.
ourselves. So
Yes.
I
And
would say
forget how important that is in getting everything else accomplished.
exactly. So
Mhm.
yeah, those were my mom life wins. As far as like business, I want to say so far for this week, my win is planning my posts for social media for 8692. So I'm still
Yes.
in the process, but it's a win because I'm in the process versus, oh, I need to get to it. Hey, I started
Yes.
it, gonna finish it. It's a win in my mind.
Yes. That is definitely a win for me too. I didn't even mention my blog when we did our IG live, but that's very much a full movement. And I was able to plan everything through December. So
Wow.
that was huge
Yeah.
business wise because sometimes when you're just lost in the shuffle, you don't have you feel like you don't have just the excitement and the aggressive work ethic to get it done.
Hmm.
So the batteries were slapped into my back a little bit. So I was like, let me go ahead and get it done. And before you know it, I had completed December. So that was like, it created freedom.
Right.
So I can go into the summer with like a clear head. And, that also helped me plan for summer activities for the kids. So
Right.
that's a mom win.
Yes.
Yes. But the biggest win was the fact that I finally threw all of what do the old people call it? Mitch match. The Mitch match socks.
Right.
They had to go. They had to go. I don't know
Yeah,
about you, but I keep a basket and I'm constantly trying to find these matching socks. But then it just gets to be too much.
it does.
It's overwhelming and it's like you're never gonna find it. The trolls got it. Let it
Yeah.
go.
I need to
So
now
we just restart. I threw them away and it was time to restart. So that's what I did.
see get to them kids socks and throw away the match socks, okay? Because they have
Let it
some in
go.
look, they have some in there and they need to be thrown out. My big thing
Mhm.
though is my boys, they go through socks so quickly. So, I don't know what they do with their socks, but a lot of times I see holes in them. As soon as I see a little peek of a hole, I'm like, give me that sock. It goes crashed. That is
Yes.
a pet peeve. If I see any type of hole in your sock, we're throwing it away.
Out of here. Look, we got to figure out how they're
Oh
getting into
no.
the socks.
How are the holes getting it? That's what, and it be at the bottom of their feet. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, I'm trying to figure out how that happens.
I
So,
don't know. Look, I have two girls, so I feel like Bailey will sometimes get a hole like in the toe. I don't
see,
know.
because it's like,
I still don't
I-
understand that though.
it makes more sense though. Because I mean, maybe like a toenail can be a little sharp or something and pierce up against the sock. I don't know. But when it's at the bottom of your foot, what is piercing the sock?
I don't. I'm gonna think on that. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that is a question that needs answers legitimately. So you're tossing socks too. So I'm late to the game. So you toss the socks. That's
Mm,
good. You're very quick with it. You don't wait. I
right.
wait. I wait because I'm always trying to find them. What are three things that you do that help you each day to get
Okay.
prepared?
I want to say, hmm, the things that I use that help me meet my daily and weekly tasks is
Okay.
I am old school, so I have a planner. A planner, you just write everything in.
Yes.
So that's what I use. Like usually on the beginning of the week, maybe Sunday, Saturday, I try to write down the tasks that I need to complete, business wise and mom life in my
Mhm.
and put down like the school events and business deadlines and things like that that I need to get completed. So I use that, just the old school planner.
Okay.
And then I also use my phone, like the reminders and the calendar. So I
Hmm.
put dates that are important, mainly just, if anything's going on with my kids, like at school or doctor's appointments or anything as far as business, so that it can pop up on my phone and remind me maybe a day or two
Hmm.
in advance. I like using that. And then I like to use my weekly meal planner, like magnet that I have on my refrigerator. So
Okay. I think I have one of those. I
yeah,
think I have one of those. Yes.
for that week so that I
Yeah.
can know.
Hmm.
And I try, because the hardest thing for me is just coming up with recipes, coming up with meals. My family likes to eat things different. And
Yeah.
it's my husband. He's the one that gives me the most trouble. So,
Yes. I'm
so
right
I
there with you.
write down the meals. So I already have
Yes.
that. And then also I have a chalkboard calendar that I like to put different events and things that are going on. So I have like a couple of different
Eight
options.
to, I definitely find that repetition is key.
Right.
Having it many places is like
Right.
key. Okay. That
Exactly.
is a win because
Yes.
it's visible for everyone.
Hmm.
It's a reminder for you. It's
Yes.
in places that you frequent during the
Yes.
day.
Hmm.
So it's just, yeah, I like that one. That's a
Yeah.
win
Like I can
for
be creative,
sure.
like, because I can decorate them how I want to.
Hmm.
That little creative outlet. So
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I draw like little pictures and things like that. Nobody cares, but I
yeah,
do. I do.
my kids care. Oh, mommy, you drew this.
Yes.
They care.
Yes. No,
But
they don't acknowledge it. When it's plain,
mm,
like when I just write it in,
hmm.
due to rushing or whatever, then my son will be like, "Oh, no squiggles, no Christmas stockings, no, not feeling inspired." So
Yeah.
they notice my patterns, but they're
Yeah.
definitely not going to, they're thugs. They're definitely not going to acknowledge,
Mm,
that it looks cute or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so calendars, planners. Yes. What are some things that you do at the top of each day?
Okay. One thing that I do is like when I wake up in the morning is that I have to do my Bible study and my morning prayer. It just helps my day. It makes me feel better about my day. And, of course, throughout the day, I got to stay in prayer. That helps.
Mhm. Oh, yes.
And also, another thing, like I was telling you, is that I like to jot things down for the beginning of the week. And I also do it in the morning. I, go back to my planner and look and see, okay, what do I need to complete today?
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, it's a struggle with me picking like my top three things or tasks to get complete within that day. So that's something that I'm working on. But I do refer to my planner to see what I need to do for the day.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I agree with having devotion, having that prayer time for sure. So
Hmm.
that's definitely something that is extremely important to me because if my mind is not right,
Right,
I might go left. So,
right.
um I also wake up 30 minutes earlier. I always try to go myself for 30 minutes earlier. So
Yes.
sometimes that looks a little more sticky. Like if I'm planning to like work out in the
Hmm.
morning. So
Hmm.
that means I would need to get up 30 minutes earlier than workout time because
Right.
I have to just calm down,
Hmm.
have to have peace, in the home before the chaos begins.
Right.
Because I feel like when I have that time for myself, I'm more equipped to handle the unexpected things that may happen during the morning rise and shine.
Right.
Everybody kind of everywhere. Mom, you have this, you got this, I need this. Oh no, I didn't get a poster board. You know what I mean? Like just the random, things. So that helps me. Also, I try to make sure I get started on my hydration because after three kids, I realized sometimes I forget to drink water. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been that person. Like, I've always been like just over the top with it, gallon a day, just, always
Mhm.
trying to make sure, that I am staying hydrated. And I saw a post a little while ago, and it was talking about us, the people who were born during our time. And they were like, oh, you feel dehydrated. So you go grab an iced coffee. Have you, have you seen that? No?
No,
Okay. You can't, it doesn't resonate. Okay. A little bit it does for me.
but
I went through
it,
a,
I made that face because it's like, oh, I make sure I have my coffee. I make sure, look, I make sure I have my coffee. Okay. Right.
yes,
And
yes,
so, yeah, and
yes.
drink a lot of water yet for the day. And so, yeah, that definitely resonates with me.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, my side hurts. Okay. Yes. So I have to hydrate. It's very important. I'm skipping that step. So I take the opportunity to make sure I do it starting at the beginning because it helps me to be more mindful to drink the water,
Right.
and I always do a little something for myself. That's part of my self care regimen, hygiene wise. I always just try to like scrub my face or do like a deep clean, when I'm brushing my teeth. Just peace and quiet,
Right.
trying to do those things for myself before serving others. That
Right.
has been the key for me before serving others because I've had it backwards for quite some time.
Oh my goodness. Girl,
Yes.
I have it a little backward. I'm just
Yes.
now trying to, do more things for myself. And I need to carve out that time. So when you said the 30 minutes you wake up early, 30
Hmm.
minutes before, all the chaos
Yeah.
starts, have that time for yourself, that's
Yes.
to start implementing because
Hmm.
the only time I have is
Game
like nap.
changer.
It's like nap time,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
a lot of times I use that nap time to work out or, get something done. So, yeah,
And it's
definitely.
the middle of the day. You could have avoided a crash out. You know what I mean? Like if
Right.
you would have just had that moment to yourself. Just taking the first. I learned that actually from my daughter because she was like, you just never put yourself
Oh,
at the top. She, was just like, you have to like, prioritize self,
yeah,
we'll be all right. Which that, but oftentimes you need to be reminded of that.
exactly. Exactly.
So just taking it first, it just makes you feel good. It just makes you feel like I took care of me today
Yes.
first.
Yes.
For sure. So those are my tops. So it feels like, we're kind of on a good track. I feel like that sets, the day up nicely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I
Definitely.
feel like I feel like we just went over like 18 wins. No, it was really like 6, but
Yeah.
they were good.
Yeah.
They were good. What services do you feel like help you like meet daily demands or weekly?
Um, services like,
Hmm. Like things you may like. I know for me, um, definitely ordering groceries.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Same for me.
Ordering groceries. I'm like this close to doing laundry service. I've done it before, but I think I want to do it on a more consistent basis
Oh,
when like travel schedules are crazy,
okay.
because it's like 80 loads all the time.
Yeah,
Laundry takes a lot.
it does. And
Oh,
I don't care for laundry like that. So I understand
yes.
want to do the laundry service thing. I
Yeah.
typically try to um wash clothes maybe once or twice a week, honestly.
Okay.
Everybody's
Yes.
once or twice a week.
Ooh, that sounds magical.
Yeah, that's what I try because the everyday thing, not,
Yes, definitely what you're saying is key. Picking
mhm,
days to do the laundry.
yeah.
For us, there is laundry being done each day, kind of,
Mhm.
sort of, if you want to call it that. We're a family of five, so laundry is being done 6 days a week. And how that goes is each person has a day.
Okay.
Okay. So if it's Tuesday, it's Joshua's day. So
Okay.
he ensures that he brings his, clothes down, puts them in
Mm.
the washer, dries them. That's his day.
Right.
So we have a day for all of us, and then linens on one day,
Hmm.
and it just kind of keeps things organized,
Right.
and keeps the trolls, from like stealing clothes and things like that. So we have very hectic schedules, and just trying to avoid, random smells and fumes and things like that with sports and, all is like, but I have found having the laundry done on, designated days
Hmm.
has worked.
Right.
But the washer is going every day almost.
Yeah. Oh, girl.
Yeah.
I, I can't now, as my kids like get into sports and stuff, like my
Yeah.
son was doing track, so laundry was
Nice.
more often. But
Yes.
as of right now, there's not really many sports going on. So
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds magical.
Yeah.
Mhm. You're saying like once or twice a week
Mostly it's
for
twice.
all of the laundry? Twice a week
Yeah.
for laundry. Okay.
Yeah.
And I am saying a person a day.
Yeah.
So you guys find somewhere in the middle.
Right.
One of those is going to work.
Hmm.
So what do you feel like your biggest struggle is right now?
Um, my biggest struggle, honestly, and I think I kind of touched on this earlier, I think it's more so prioritizing my tasks to where, okay, Gina, you're not going to be able to do all 10 and 15 in one day. Let's limit it to like three.
Yes.
Let's get like two or three done today. And that's perfectly fine. And just try to get two or three done every day. That's my biggest struggle because I want to get everything done
Hmm.
that
Sure.
day. And so my mind is constantly spinning and it's I'll start something, not finish it because I'm moving on to something else.
Hmm.
So
Sure.
I'd say that's my biggest struggle. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
Hmm. Um, Probably saying no.
Hmm.
I definitely try to meet every need that's not good. So it'll look something like this. Let's say I've gotten up early and spent my time with myself, but mentally I have everything that I need to do, work wise, things that need to get done, for the kids that week.
Hmm.
And maybe Bailey will say, "Hey, can you drive me to school? And can I get a nice coffee?" Simple things,
Yeah.
right? So, because I want you to have this magical, whimsical life, right? I say, yeah, which in essence I could, but what does that take away from what I need to do during the day?
Right.
That 20 minutes could have been, you know, additional strategizing. That 20 minutes could have been doing all of, the pickups and, scheduling orders and things like that. And really kind of gotten me ahead, So sometimes it's the picking and choosing, even though those moments, matter too. It's
Right.
just saying no just because I have to focus on, what is important for me in this moment.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to work on that as well. I definitely
Mhm.
understand. So yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
that was a hot one.
yeah,
Yes. That's a big struggle for me, for
that
sure.
is.
Yeah.
I feel you, girl.
Yeah. Well,
What's like a takeaway that you learned from me this week?
what I have learned from you is I think I just need to I actually learned from your struggle. One, which
Mhm.
is you can't do all of these things. You can, but at what cost?
Right.
So you saying I can't, I realize that I can't do all 15 things, but I can do, you know, 10 of the things.
Hmm.
That that resonated with me. And it made me feel one seen, but two, we are each trying to accomplish these goals and it's okay to not be able to hit all of the bullet points.
Right.
For sure.
Okay.
So I feel like I have a teammate in that, because there's a lot of even just societal
Hmm.
pressure to make sure that you are doing everything.
Right.
and going above and beyond. I love that you still use a planner, and that is encouraging me to crack open my planner
Mhm.
because the way this watch and this phone is set up, it is frustrating to me.
Right.
And I need to go back to basics
Yeah. Yeah.
for
Okay.
sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Um, what I learned from you is that you are trying to prioritize yourself.
Hmm.
You waking up 30 minutes early every morning and making sure that you're doing what you need to do to get yourself, mentally in a mentally sane space.
Yes.
Um, I think is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself. So,
Hmm.
that's what I take away from you. Like, I have an issue with trying to get up early
Hmm.
and make that time for myself.
Hmm.
That I'm struggling with, and it could be also that because prioritizing your bedtime is important too. So that's
Yes.
my struggle, but definitely, what you said, prioritizing yourself and making time, whether
Hmm.
that's in the morning or
Hmm.
whatever, that's what I know I need to do. Like you said, I feel seen, I feel heard,
Yes.
and yeah, yeah, definitely.
Because sometimes you don't know unless you speak on it. And sometimes it just feels like, which is why wins are important to
Mhm.
acknowledge and celebrate. Because
Or-
sometimes you may have gotten 80% of everything done, but that 20% is nagging you. The
mhm,
20% makes you feel like you weren't enough in that day.
mhm.
You're not, you've lessened in like adequacy. You know what I mean? Like it's
Right.
just, it really will nag you,
Yeah.
and then you tend to isolate yourself. Oh, well, it's just me. If I could just do this, if I could be more like this, if I could, and it just is like a snowball. you
Right.
know?
Like social media, and it's like everybody's
Yes.
trying to be the perfect mom, the perfect parent,
Hmm.
perfect
Yes.
whatever. And in reality, it's just not like that. It's-
No. It
So,
takes it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort. But then, even more so, it really takes you celebrating your wins and adding progress to the things that you want to change,
right.
so that it's a curated life for you that works for you. Because everyone's life is different,
Yes,
and the demands are different.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a growing experience, you
Hmm.
know.
Growing and stretching. Yes, growing and stretching.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. That's it for now. Small steps, big dreams, deep breaths, full inbox. You've got this. Next week, we'll be chatting about making the most of limited hours.
Until then, squeeze in that hot coffee, soak up small victories, and keep building your dream. We're cheering you on. Bye.
If this episode inspired you, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Slide into our DMs on Instagram at @thelifesupport_.
If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a Power Hour pep talk. And leave a comment. It helps other mamas find us and transforms one mom's hustle into all of our community boosts.